How many of you have ever wished that a part of your body, any part of your body, looked a little bit differently than it does? I know I have at different points of my life. Well, today I'll be talking about the importance of really understanding that your beauty, your worth is not determined by how your body looks. It's not determined by your weight. It's not determined by your size. It's not determined by your shape. It is so important to understand that. And this is a topic that is really near and dear to my heart. I'm passionate about this. My doctoral dissertation focused on weight bias and weight bias internalization. So how people feel about their weight, how people feel about themselves. If they feel that because they look a certain way, they are not as competent as somebody else, or they don't deserve to have good things or be married to a good person or to have a great life because of their weight. Okay, so I worked on that and it was really heartbreaking, I have to say, to really hear what people say about themselves and feel about themselves. And in my practice, most of the women I work with, a lot of their confidence issues I find is tied directly or indirectly to their perceptions of their body. Okay, negative perceptions about their bodies. So today I wanted to just really jump on here and just remind you of the importance of understanding that your value is not tied to the distribution of fat in your body. It's not tied to your shape. It's not tied to how big your chest is or how small it is or any of that stuff. So if it is important to know this, because if you don't understand that, you're going to walk around constantly feeling bad when your body changes. And we know that our bodies are going to change, especially us women. Our bodies are going to change as time progresses. We are going to experience different shifts and moves and different things in our bodies, right? And it's important to know that when those things occur, that our value has not been diminished. Okay. And this is really a topic that I talk about all the time because I want women to feel confident in who they are. Whether you're bigger than you used to be or you're smaller than you used to be, you're still you. You're still a person of worth. And if you're around people that don't understand that, maybe it's time to reevaluate the people in your inner circle, because you don't need to be around people that are constantly thinking that if you looked like this, then I would treat you better. Or if you look like this, then this would happen. That's not healthy for your mental health. It's not healthy for your physical health because it brings stress. And we know from several studies, documented research, that stress is tied to all manner of difficult chronic conditions. Okay. So it is important for you to really understand who you are, know your value, understanding your value is not tied to how you look, it's not tied to what you have, it's not tied to any of those things. It by virtue of being a person, by virtue of being a woman, you are a person of worth. I say this all the time. And for those of you that have not met me, I am Dr. Marianne Olaniran. I do a lot of work with just helping women to be empowered so that they can move forward and create more joyful, successful lives. And one of the ways I do that is really helping women to increase their confidence, increase their self-esteem, improve their self-perception. Because how you see yourself, what you feel about your body, what you feel about yourself really shows up in the way that you carry yourself, the things that you feel like you deserve, the people that you feel like you deserve. There are a lot of women I talk with that would have made comments to me like, oh, that kind of man would never look my way. And I'm like, what do you mean? Okay. I don't want any woman feeling like that. Okay. I don't want you to feel like if you don't look like what is normative in your society, that you're not a person of worth or you're not beautiful. Your beauty is from within. Okay. But you need to believe that, because how many of you know that one of the most important and most attractive attributes of a person is their confidence? For a lot of us, we know when some certain people walk in a room, they may not be the most beautiful person in the room, but how many of you have ever experienced that where you carry a presence? When you walk into somewhere, people know that you've walked in there, right? You carry something. You're confident. It doesn't matter what you look like. Okay. I've been really big. I've been really small. It doesn't matter. I carry myself a certain way because I know who I am and I know whose I am. Now, I'm not going to go that deep, but I understand where I'm from. I understand who I am. And so when I go into a place, it doesn't matter if I've put on a little bit more weight. It doesn't matter if I've lost a little bit more weight than I usually have. It doesn't matter what I look like. I am still me. I still have the same values that I had. I still have the same intelligence that I had. I still have the same success that I had, whether I had more weight on or less weight. Okay. Some of us are fixated on what I consider shallow intangibles, like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be happy until I can fit into that dress I wore in high school, or I'm not going to be happy until the scale says that this and this and that. All of that, please understand that those are not the important things of life. Be happy with who you are, be happy with how you look, and go forward and do what you need to do. A couple of days ago, I was speaking with a client of mine. She had a lot of weight. She's in a different country where curves are really valued, right? And so she got really ill and lost a lot of weight. Now she's better, but she has not been able to gain the weight back. And so she's really struggling with her identity. And so she's like, what I wouldn't give to get my body back. And she kept sending me all these pictures. And so after doing the work that I do with my clients, where I really try to look at the root causes of why you're feeling that way, because a lot of times it's not just about the weight, it's something else. And this is not a coaching session or any of that. So I'm not going to go into that, but I helped her to understand that this was a deeper issue for her. And so we addressed that. I helped her to also see that a lot of people are paying money to lose weight. A lot of women are working extra hard on their bodies, getting up early to lose the weight, right? Again, everything's about perspective. I helped her to understand that a lot of people are going through all manner of stuff to try to lose weight. And here she is looking a certain way. She's healthy now. And instead of, changing her perspective, she's feeling sad. And so I helped her to see that when you change, when your body changes, or your family situation changes, when anything happens in your life, when you experience a change, it is time to get to know the new you. You can't get stuck in the past. You might have been a certain way, might have looked a certain way, might have had certain family members around and they're not here anymore. Certain friends are not here anymore. It is time for you to start to get to know the new you that does not include some of the old things you had. And so I talked to her about that and helped her to start to do some exercises that would help her to appreciate her new body. Okay. But what was really interesting to me was that just a few days after our discussion, our final discussion, I saw her on social media and she had dressed up really nicely and she had makeup on. And this is not about makeup. She's somebody that used to like makeup, but because she didn't like her body anymore, she stopped putting on makeup. So, but I was really surprised. She had put on her makeup and then she dressed up and posted all these pictures on Facebook. I was so happy to see her. And she sent me a message. She was like, I'm happy with my body. I love my body. I look good. I'm like, yes, you do. Of course you do. Right. And sometimes it takes a lot longer and different, continuous things to get you to that place. But for other people, just a little twist here, a little tweak in your perception and your behavior can cause you to just start to feel differently about your body. And it's very uplifting when you start to feel beautiful again. So I want to, for this week, just invite you to be kind to yourself. If you're somebody that's in the habit of saying things like, oh my goodness, look at my big this or my small that. I wish this was bigger and this was smaller and this look was thinner and this was fatter or whatever. I need you to please this week be kind to yourself. If you catch yourself thinking something derogatory about your body, stop yourself right there. If you catch yourself saying something to your body that's not kind, stop yourself and rephrase it. You, again, remember to say that you're beautiful, you're healthy, your body is good, your body is amazing, your body does what it's supposed to do. Your body is great because it is, right? It is. And that's what I want you to do this week. Just really focusing on being kind to yourself and changing the narrative that you have about your body. So I want to end with that you're fabulous, you're beautiful, you are a person of worth. So remember that and don't be around people that don't see your worth, that try to make you feel like if you looked a certain way that you would have been more beautiful and more valued or a better match, a better partner. That's not true. You are already fabulous just the way you are. So stay optimistic, stay encouraged. The best is yet to come. Have an amazing day. Bye.